Hey guys, I'm just bringing it up on my iPad. I had a nightmare. I realised that I don't have any black food colouring and this cake is literally like all black. So I've tried to make some and I'm probably not going to finish it tonight. I'm probably going to have to finish it off in the morning when I can actually go and get some colouring. So that's great. For some reason it's not loading on my iPad. I don't know what it's doing. So it's not loading, so I haven't currently got the chat on here. I don't know why it's not working. It's unavailable. Why is it unavailable? Let me know if it's working. It's working on mine now, so it should be working on yours. Right. Is it working? Can people confirm in the chat whether it's working? Because mine's now working, but I just want to make sure it's working before we actually get started. Perfect. Hi everyone. So, if you missed the bit at the start, you probably did. I realised that I don't have any black food colouring and this cake is black. So I've managed to make a little bit with some black cocoa powder, which I absolutely hate using because it just smells really funny. Everyone recommends it, but it smells funny and I just prefer not to use it. I've used it for the purpose of this. However, I need to make a black drip and I can't do that without black colouring. My black colour mill comes tomorrow, but I need the cake for 11 AM tomorrow. So what I'm going to have to do is do as much as I possibly can tonight, which probably is going to be up to the drips. I probably won't be able to... Oh, shut up, Max. I probably won't be able to do anything else, which is really annoying. So I won't be able to do like the main decorations because I actually need to put the drip on it. So yeah, I think I can stack it without the drips because I can do that afterwards. So I might try and stack it, see if I can make a black drip using some little bits that I have. I have like a tiny bit of food colouring, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So yeah, we will see, because obviously it's 9 PM. If I'd figured this out at like 8, then I could have gone to Hobbycraft and got some more, but I didn't. So that's what we're working with. Very unorganised today. So yeah, and apart from that, everything's ready for the cake, so we will see. But I'm just waiting for this to develop. It's looking pretty black, so I think it's done okay. This is what it looks like. So it's pretty black. But that's the buttercream, but I can't use the cocoa in a chocolate drip, so we're going to have an issue when we get to that part. Also, it's a striped cake, so I need to do the first lot of stripes and then shove it in the fridge. So we're going to do that first because that's going to take the most amount of like setting time. So I need piping bags. Also, if I told anyone in the last one about my box issue where they forgot a load of my boxes, so I managed to get that sorted out 2 weeks after the actual delivery came. I called them and I said there's boxes missing. They were like, when was it delivered? I was like, 2 weeks ago. Your live keeps freezing. Mine's fine, so I don't know if it's your signal because mine's fine on my iPad. maybe try using 3G or Wi-Fi, whichever one you're not using, try and use it, because sometimes it doesn't work on either of those. But yeah, so they actually refunded those boxes that they forgot to send, which I was quite surprised at, because I obviously called them like 2 weeks after, so I could have just been blagging. But they refunded it, and then I've placed another order, but I missed the cut-off for today, so now I have to wait for tomorrow. Is it working? I think some people are having issues, but right, I need a glass. So, I'm just going to put this into a piping bag, and I'm hoping, it usually develops a lot more in the fridge, so I'm hoping that it does that, because it's not as black as it should be to match the photo, but we don't really have a choice. So, how was the adult play park thing? When was my last live? That was Thursday. So was that before? I think that might have been before. Yeah, I think that was before I went. So it was really, really good. I think I posted it on my personal Instagram, but I think only a few of you actually like follow that, because I have it on private now after all that drama that we had. But yeah, it was really good. I would definitely recommend. It's basically, for everyone that's over 18, it's basically a nightclub with a massive soft play and like dance machines. It's also like a mix between like a youth club. It's a really weird place, but it's really good, because there's like random games in there, like really random arcade games which you would not normally get in an arcade. But we used to joke and say like it's as if they got donated there, but they were really good. I just don't know why they were there. It was really random, but it was lots of fun. I think it was like £20, something like that, but I would definitely recommend it more so. I don't think you can go there if you're under 18, but I think it would be better if you had a few drinks. We enjoyed it a lot more after a few drinks, so I would recommend going there with a load of friends. But it's very, very good. It's in North London, so you kind of want to drive there, because on the train it takes a while. We're only getting the train next time so that we can drink a lot more. But yes, thank you for asking. It was very good. So I'm glad that I managed to make some black buttercream, because that would have been the next thing, because that would have really like thrown me behind, considering I'm already behind on this cake. So black buttercream is in there. So I'm going to be using the Finch Bakery scraper. It's the medium, so it's the middle one, because I think they've only got 3 different stripe ones. They have like a really large one, a mini, and then the medium. So that's the one that I got, and it's like £12 for anyone that doesn't follow them already. I need scissors. So I tried to do the cake slightly shorter today, because she wanted them slightly shorter, but I don't usually do mine shorter than this. So you might notice that it's slightly shorter, but not very. We need to do dowels, which I'm going to do in the crumb coat. So if you want to know how to stack, then take notes now, because I had some issues with the last 2 tier where it was so set that I couldn't get the dowels in, and it was just shocking. I ended up ruining the outside tier because the layer that I'd done, I just kept hitting into it with dowels. So we're doing them before this time so that we don't damage our final coat. So you just cut it to rough height. That might be too short now. Okay. So, and then what you want is a board. Do I have... I don't have one of my little boards because I used it, but we're just going to mark on here 4 inches so that we know where the dowels need to be within, because obviously you don't want it to be outside of the top tier, otherwise they're just going to be pointless. Please tell me you're going live tomorrow. I'm decorating cakes tomorrow and I love watching. I'm not live tomorrow. I am live on Saturday. I'm live on Saturday night because I've got 2 cakes to do on Saturday. It's going to be a really long live. I've got a 2-tier cake and I've also got a single tier cake. So it's going to be a very, very long live. I keep dropping these on the floor. So yeah, we won't be live tomorrow. But like I say, there'll be a long one on Saturday. I will announce it on Saturday because I'll know a bit earlier. So I can announce when I'm actually going to be doing it so that you know a time. But today I knew that I was really unorganised, so I was like, I'm not going to know. And then I was faffing around. I was trying to get rid of the daddy long legs because it's daddy long legs season and they seem to be everywhere and it's really annoying. So this hurts your fingers so much. Okay, we've got 1. Okay, so we need to cut these to the same height. I think that is pretty solid, and then we'll put a dowel in the middle, but we don't need to do that until after. But at least that's done, because the last time we did that, I could not get them in the cake because it was so set. I'd left it overnight, so it had been in there so long that it just would not go through the sponge. So you can all see, I think. Pretty sure. There you go. So you're just going to pipe as normal all the way around the cake, and then you use the scraper to actually create the stripes, so you just pipe as normal, and you want it to be super generous, so make sure there's like plenty of buttercream on, because otherwise when you do the stripes you're going to see the sponge, which you don't want. And then just fill any gaps around the bottom. And then because it's going to be covered, I'm not too worried about the top of it. And then you're just going to roughly smooth it, not properly because you'll do that when you do the stripes, but it's just to kind of even it out a little bit. And then obviously anywhere that looks a little sparse, just add back in. And then we're just gonna go in with this until you're happy with it, basically. I'll pan you down a little bit more. I'm sure someone's pointed this out before, and it really makes me paranoid when people point it out. No, I don't have blinds, and yes, I hate it in here. Like, I hate decorating here when it's late. The only reason I don't mind it is because I'm on live, but if I was like on my own, I would not be decorating in here. I really hate looking out of windows when it's dark because I get really worried that there's going to be someone stood there. So yes, I am petrified. Obviously it's my parents' house, so they don't ever close the blinds. We have curtains in our lounge and they never close them. So I feel like if they got blinds in here, I would have to close them because they're just not worried at all, and I am. So yeah, we do not like outside. I usually lock that door because I get worried that someone's gonna come in while I'm decorating and I'm not gonna see them. So, the spiders can see inside. I hate spiders, please don't mention that. There's literally a daddy long legs above me, which I could not get. And he's just sat there at the moment. But if he comes anywhere near me, I will be running. Because I went around the park with my dog and my sister, and we were walking through the grass and there was literally like daddy long legs rising from the grass. I was like, what is this? Like, it was something out of a horror movie where there were just hundreds of them, and I was thinking, this is not for me. They're watching you through the window planning their next heist. Don't, because I hate them. There's so many of them. Like, if you went outside, you could easily pick them out. They are there. They're waiting for me to leave that door open, which is why I lock it, because it freaks me out. So that is pretty much there. There's just a few bits which I want to tidy up a little bit, but it doesn't have to be perfect because obviously as long as it's in the fridge for plenty of time, it's pretty easy to get the stripes nice and straight when you're smoothing it out, but you just want to make sure you've got like a pretty good base coat. So yeah, I'm going to go with that because the more I touch it, the worse it will get. That's always the way. So I just need to leave it. So just flatten out the top. And because this is slightly shorter than my usual, there is a little bit of a lip, which again is annoying, but we can sort that out. Which is where, it's basically where this lines up with your cake. So if you can, and you plan ahead, then try and work out how tall your cake is going to be to the scraper, because what you don't want is it being in between a square. You want it to ideally end on a square, because otherwise it's going to have a bit of a lip where when you fill it with buttercream, it's going to be like half a stripe basically, which is a lot harder to smooth out than a full size one. So you want to try and match the height of your cake to the stripes. So that one's done because we can't do anything with that until it's set. So that one's going to go back in, and then we're going to, what do you call it? Do the 4-inch. We need to do the ombre. Right, so do you feel you have felt or are falling out of love with making cakes? Because I love making cakes as a hobby, and I'm thinking of taking it seriously, but I don't want to ruin the hobby. I don't know. It's a hard one, because obviously as soon as you turn anything into a job, if you make it feel like work, then it's not going to be enjoyable. So that's why I try as much as possible to, like, if I want a day off, have a day off, like, even if it means telling someone no to a cake, which I hate doing. Like, usually I say yes to everyone, and then that's why I work 6 days a week, and rarely have a day where I'm not doing something, even if it is like a brownie box or whatever. So I think you just need to know when you want a day off, because obviously it's your own business, so it's very difficult to like set working hours, which I think will probably be your main problem. I don't think you'll necessarily fall out of love with making them, and also make the cakes that you want to make, that's I think where I started to not like it. This was like last year, but where I was just taking on whatever cake someone asked for, I just didn't enjoy making them, because I was like, I don't actually like the cakes that I'm making, and I don't like the designs. But I think if you actually like the cakes that you're doing, and I love all the cakes that I make, then it's not so bad, because even if it stresses you out, you actually like what you're doing. So yeah, I think you have to try it, because you won't know until you try whether you're going to fall out of love with it. So yeah, I think you just have to give it a go, and then if you find that it's too kind of like work-like and less of a hobby, then you can always go back. But I think it's obviously going to feel like work opposed to a hobby, because you're going to be getting paid for it. There's going to be customers, there's going to be like rules in a way, because you're going to have stuff done by a certain time. There's going to be criterias for things, whereas if you're just making cakes for fun, there isn't necessarily those rules. So yeah, it's obviously going to feel a little bit different, but I think you can still enjoy it, and plenty of people do. But yeah, just don't take on too much, because like the times where I haven't enjoyed it is where I have like ridiculous amounts of cakes to do, and then I'm stressing myself out. And also that's why I stopped doing allergen cakes. Like, people probably notice, but I don't do any allergen stuff anymore. I also don't do vegan. I would only do it if it was, there's a few friends that I would do a vegan cake for, but apart from them I wouldn't, because it's just too stressful, and it makes it not enjoyable, because it goes wrong and then I have to redo it, and then it makes me feel like I'm not doing a good enough job when I am. It's just that they're a lot harder to do, especially when you do normal cakes as well as like dietary requirement ones. So yeah, I just don't do anything that's overly complicated anymore. What would you want to do for business if you didn't make cakes? I honestly don't know. I do a bit of everything, and that's because I can't make up my mind. I'm like the most indecisive person. So it would probably be some kind of making something, I think, because I like doing something. I don't like... That's why I started doing the merch where I had to make it, because I didn't necessarily enjoy the merch that was pre-purchased. So like ones where you get it from a supplier, like silicone molds, anything like that. I'm not making it, so I didn't get the same satisfaction that I did from actually making something. So yeah, I don't really know what it would be. It would just be something where I actually make it myself, because I feel like that's a lot more satisfying than selling something for more that you haven't made, like a product, if that makes sense. But yeah, right. We're gonna mix up... I've got the buttercream already made, but we just need to colour it. So we have one here, I think it's just blue to light blue, if I remember rightly. So we won't need 3 colours. So I need another bowl. So we need some kind of blue. I think I'm gonna go for a middle one. So I'm going to use the light blue from Colour Splash. I might add a little bit of navy in, because I find that this goes really like neon, which isn't very nice. So I'll probably do a mix between a little bit of navy and then the normal blue, so that it doesn't look too luminous, because we don't like that. Did you know it's 100 days till Christmas? Oh my gosh, don't remind me. I still need to post about my Halloween stuff. You guys will hate me, but I have not posted about it yet. I keep telling everyone, but I haven't posted yet. I need a spatula. I've used so many things today that they're all in the washing up. Right. Yeah, how many days is it till... Can someone work out how many days it is until Halloween? Because that's what I need to worry about. I need to worry about Halloween, because I am not there yet. So, but I do also need to make Christmas promos, which is just haunting, because I've got no idea what I want to do this year. I don't want to do what I did last year, I know that much, because that was so complicated. I did like these massive treat boxes last year, and they were just so much effort for such little reward. I'm literally going to be doing the same as I'm doing for Halloween. Halloween I'm doing brownies only. I did cupcakes last year. I don't like doing cupcakes. I prefer not to do them. I only ever do them if a customer orders them with a cake. I don't really offer them on their own, because I don't think they make enough money. Like, they're £2.50 a cupcake. It's not enough for the amount of effort. So I'm just doing brownies, and I think I'm going to do the same at Christmas. But Christmas I will have cakes as well. So I think that's what we're going with, because I don't think I need that much. But yeah, it was just so complicated to do so many different things, and I do not want to do that again. So I don't think I need very much of this, because it's only a 4-inch cake. We're going to go with that. 45 days until Halloween. That is not very long. So we're going to mix this up. I'm going to quickly check on my phone so the live will stop, because I need to check the photo just to make sure that it is light blue and dark blue. So bear with. So it does have a very, very light blue, like almost white. So I'll add that in, but I'm not going to go as like crazy blue as in the original photo because it's very luminous, and I think to match the bottom tier, which is black, I think it needs to be slightly more muted, so we're going to go with that. So I'm just going to mix this all up quickly. That's what I meant when I said neon. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really a bit too luminous. So we've mixed that in, and then we're going to add a teeny bit of this navy, and it just kind of like balances it out a little bit. I always find it goes green, not found a true blue yet. That is completely right. It goes like a very neon greeny blue. It's not the best. However, I do like to use Colour Splash for buttercream because obviously Colour Mill is so pricey for such a little amount, and it's more hard to get hold of, whereas Colour Splash, if I run out of it, I'd rather use Colour Splash and I run out and I can go to Hobbycraft rather than Colour Mill, which you have to order and it's a lot of hassle. So I do have a Colour Mill blue, but I like to save it for my drips. But this works really well, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's just muted it just by putting the teeniest bit of navy in. So that's what you want to do. If you find that your colour is really, really blue and doesn't look very nice, then add a little bit of navy and it just kind of sorts it out a bit. So this one is meant to be the darker one, so I'm just adding a little bit more of everything. Teeny bit of navy. So this one is already quite a bit darker. I might have to lighten it up a little bit. Okay, I think we're good on those two. So that is the darker one, and then that's the lighter one. And then we're gonna have a little bit of a white. It's like a cream currently, but it'll be a white, and I'll mix it with a teeny bit of blue, and then that will go on the top. So, and I need to add a little bit of white chocolate to each of these as well because they're white chocolate buttercream. So I need to add that in so that it actually tastes like white chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nick a little bit of the dark blue, and then I'm going to add it to the cream, because that is the easiest way for us to get a very light version of those two colours. I'm going to add a little bit of Wilton White just to balance out the green and the blue. And then, because it's still a little bit on the green side, I'm going to add a teeny bit of blue. So, I think I want it a little bit more blue than that. It's very hard to decide. I think we're going to go with slightly darker. I think it needs to be more similar to the above two. Cakes and Sprinkles by Lauren. I'm loving it so far, but I have to go as I have school tomorrow. Sorry, that's my fault because it's so late. But yeah, you'll be able to watch the replay tomorrow. I'll upload it tonight, so it'll be up there tomorrow. So then you'll be able to watch it. But yeah, thank you for coming anyway. Someone the other day, I think, was watching whilst they were at school. I can't remember if it was while they were at school or just while they were doing school work. But I think I've had people watch in class before with AirPods, which I don't think I would be able to get away with that, but people seem to. Right. So those are all mixed now. So we need them in 3 separate piping bags. Apologies to everyone that wants me to use reusable ones. Unfortunately, it is not going to happen because it's too much faff. So we just have to use plastic ones. So you don't need nozzles in them because you're just piping it in lines around the cake. So just cut them all to the same length. Sorry, my phone was wanted to go on low power mode. We weren't jogging from the network luckily that time. So yeah, that is completely correct. The people asking you to use reusable piping bags probably have like 2 to 3 coffees a day using plastic cups. That's the thing, like, and also I've said it to people before and I will say it again. I never talk about the fact that I'm vegetarian on the channel, but I am. So I am already doing a lot better than most people. So yeah, that's why I don't really care if I use a lot of plastic, because one, I try and avoid it as much as possible, but piping bags is such a faff. Like, imagine if every time I wanted to pipe on a cake, think about how many times in a live I pipe on a cake. Imagine if every single time I had to go and wash the bag. Like, it would be even longer than it is. Like, these lives are already hours long, they'd be even longer. Hi Samantha, all the way from Australia. We're just ranting about the use of plastic piping bags. But yeah, so that's why I don't really mind, because I already help the environment quite a lot by not eating any meat. So I think some plastic piping bags is the least of our worries. But no one ever talks about my jumbo straws. These are plastic. So yeah, if you want to talk about anything, talk about the jumbo straws, because the things that you use for dowels are way worse than these piping bags. Is it possible to make one cake, decorate it and scrape it off, etc.? Yes, it is. What you want to do is do a crumb coat on it and make sure that the crumb coat is really nice and set. I've never done it before, but this is how I would imagine that you do it. I've always used dummies if I'm going to do that, but dummies are really light, and that's really annoying, because then when you're trying to pipe on them, they move a lot, and when you try and smooth them out, they move a lot, so they're not actually that great. But I would say just make a cake and then do a really thick crumb coat so that if you scrape part of it off, it doesn't matter. And then you just want to apply the final coat, and then, like you say, scrape it off, but make sure you don't scrape any more than the crumb coat. So I would say do the crumb coat a particular colour, because then you're less likely to scrape it off, because you'll get to that colour and then you'll realise that that's the crumb coat. Whereas sometimes if you were to do that and the base coat was very similar to the coat on top, then you're probably just going to scrape through it, and then you'll get to the cake and then you'll start to tear the cake, which is what you want to avoid. So I would say, yeah, just do a nice generous crumb coat, more generous than normal, and then just scrape it off each time. And that will last, the cake, like my cakes last a week. I don't tell people they last a week, but they do last a week. So you could, depending on how long yours last, you could scrape it a couple of times on different days, and then towards the end of the week you could make sure that you eat it so that it doesn't actually go to waste. But usually you can get quite a few days out of them, so then you could do lots of different designs. And also, if you're smart about the way that you mix the colours, then you could use the same buttercream over and over. You could store it in the fridge and then use it again, as long as when you scrape it off you don't get loads of crumbs in it, but you should probably be all right. So I would say if you did a lighter coloured cake at the start, and then towards the end, if it's got lots of colours on it, then you mix all the colours together and you can make chocolate buttercream. So then you can make a chocolate cake at the end of the week. So yes, that is for reusing like cakes and sponges, that kind of thing. Can you explain your cake decorating process, like how long you let them cool, how long you chill the crumb coat, etc. I'm great at cupcakes, but cakes are challenging. So I'm going to wash my hands and then I'll go through that whole process because it's a little bit long. So let me get this out and then we can go through it as we go. So that's the little 4-inch. I forgot to say the bottom tier is chocolate Nutella and this one is white chocolate and raspberry. You know what I just realised? And it's going to be such a waste of these piping bags. I forgot to add the white chocolate to the buttercream. So yeah, we're going to have to pipe that out and put it back in. So yeah, glad we noticed that now. So right, process of decorating. Let me just cut these quickly and then we're going to start over. So, you want to know right from the beginning. So, they obviously bake in the oven, then I let them cool completely on top of the oven. Don't put them in the fridge because then they will condensate, because the actual tin is going to be very hot and the cake is going to be hot, and then you're going to be putting them in a really cold fridge. So let them cool completely. That usually takes about an hour. Then I put them in the fridge for anywhere between half an hour onwards. I don't usually have a specific time, just because it's like, if I need them quickly, then I'll take them out quicker. If I don't need them, then I'll just leave them in there for a few hours, because as long as you've wrapped them in cling film, then they won't dry out. So, because they're all in their tins, they haven't been cut or anything like that. So I'm gonna reuse these, don't worry guys. So that is the first bit. So if you write it down, then maybe you can like tally it up for me. So I would say an hour and a half at least for the cooling. Then you crumb coat it, which depends how long you take to crumb coat. For me, it's about 10 minutes. And the same with the final coat. Then you put it in the fridge. Ideally, if I have prepared myself, I do the crumb coat the night before, and then I actually decorate in the morning. This cake is going out in the morning, so I crumb coated it at lunchtime, and then it's been in the fridge since then. So it's had, I mean, I started decorating at like 9, so it's had 9 hours where it's just sat in the fridge. So that's pretty long. Sometimes I've had them out 3 hours after. Again, it depends how much time you have, because I usually plan ahead. So then it means that I can have quite a few hours of it being in the fridge. And then I would say to decorate, it's 10-15 minutes for the actual final coat, but then I would say probably an hour altogether for decorating, just because I faff a lot with like moving things around and doing drips and adding sprinkles and all that kind of stuff. And usually when you're trying to match a design, you end up faffing, and then it takes you a bit longer, because yeah, you're obviously taking your time with the decorating. The other bits you can do quicker, like crumb coating, stuff like that, but I feel like the decorating you have to take your time with. So I usually altogether quote 4 hours for a cake, but it just depends. And that's over. I never usually take 4 hours, but I always quote 4 hours, because then I get a bit of profit, which if I do it quicker than the average person, then that should be my profit. That's the way that I work it out. It's not that they should get a cheaper cake, it's that I would do it quicker than most. So then I get more profit for doing it quicker, because the standard for most cakes, as far as I'm aware, is about 4 hours, but mine is usually like 3.5 most. So yeah, I think that's about it. So it's more based around how much time you have, over specific timescales that they actually need to be in the fridge. Like if you've got hours, then leave them in there for hours. If you don't, then you'll have to take them out quicker. I mean, I know people that bake and fully decorate all in the same day, and then it's going out that evening, and I can't do that myself, but it really just depends. I'm skipping a load of questions, so I need to go back. A bit off topic, but do you have any tips on how to stop biscuits going soft in buttercream? They only seem to stay hard for around 1 to 2 hours. Do you mean in the buttercream, or do you mean as decoration on top? Because I've never had any issues with either, or no customers ever told me. But yeah, I think it must depend on the biscuits, but I've never had any issues. I've heard a lot of people ask this question, but I never have any issues with it. We need to melt some white chocolate, so I'm going to put this cake away as decoration. Yeah, I've never had any issues. I heard that if you dip them in chocolate, apparently that helps. Where is my white chocolate? Bear with. So, yeah, I've heard that if you dip them in chocolate, then it's meant to stop. But like I say, I've never had any issues before. I'm just trying to move this so that it's not like pan down. So, my eyes look really red. I don't know why. So that's that one. The dummies just moved everywhere and it was a nightmare. Exactly. I only use dummies if I absolutely have to. I do super glue them to the board, which again, it's not that great. They do come off. Either that or lots of double-sided tape, but it has to be really strong stuff. So usually I just don't bother. I haven't used a dummy cake in a long time. Like, I've got a lot of them. I've got 3 different sizes, but I probably haven't used them since like late last year, like maybe like September. So I don't even know how to use them anymore because they are such faff. So I used to recommend them a lot, but it's only if you actually can't make a cake. I would prefer to make a cake. And also with things like cupcakes, you can make them, ice them, and then just scrape it off and do it again because no one knows. And also, if the cupcakes start to go stale, also doesn't matter. As long as you're not eating them, doesn't matter. You can still decorate them. I've had before where I had some cupcakes which I didn't use for cake pops, and I think I got them out the freezer, so then I couldn't refreeze them, and I didn't want to eat them, so I thought I would just ice them, and then that worked perfectly fine. I have actually seen, which might help some people, but in regards to the biscuits going soft, I have seen some Biscoff biscuits where they're already coated. I don't know if anyone's seen those. I don't know if they're any better. I'd love to see a full step-by-step video of you decorating a cake from start to finish. I am going to be doing this. I'm trying to work out when, but I was hoping to do it tomorrow. But it will be in 2 parts. Like, within the same video, you won't necessarily know it's 2 parts, but I need to film it in 2 parts because I need to do the crumb coat and then I'll need to finish it on Saturday. So what I might do is film the single tier cake, which I'm doing, like, finishing on Saturday. And then when I go live on Saturday, I might just do the 2-tier cake on the live because it's already going to be a very long live anyway. So maybe I'll do that and then I can give you a full step-by-step. This is so random, but do you know if you can use coffee syrups as flavourings in buttercream? I would say no, only because they're very bitter. I don't even like them in coffee. I bought a vanilla syrup, which I've seen in like coffee places. What are they called? Coffee shops. I've seen it used in there, and then I put it in my coffee and it tasted rank. So I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but I would say no just because they are so bitter and the cake ones are usually a lot sweeter. So yeah, I would say though, buy in bulk on Amazon. If there's any particular flavouring that you want and you want to save money on it, you can buy big bottles of it on Amazon. Do you make your buttercream beforehand? Yes. Do you mean just before making cakes? I make it in between, if that makes sense. So I bake the cake whilst it's in the oven and cooling. I then make the buttercream so that I can crumb coat, and then whilst it's in the fridge crumb coat, and I can then make the next batch. Do you think it would work if I dipped just the bit where the biscuit sits in the cream? Supposedly that's what you're meant to do. You just dip the bottom of it in chocolate, and then when you put it in your buttercream, it then doesn't go soggy. But like I say, I've never found that. When do you guys put your cakes in boxes? Because I think this might be the issue. I put my cake in a box as soon as possible. So once it's decorated and I've taken a photo of it, it then goes in a box overnight, and then I take it out in the morning if they're collecting it in the morning. Because I mentioned this last live, but the box is meant to stop all of the humidity, or not humidity, condensation. So the box is, because it's cardboard, it will soak up all of the moisture, and then the moisture won't go on your cake. So if you find you get condensation on your cake when you take it out of the fridge, then put your cake in a box. So yeah, I would say if you're not boxing them up, then make sure that you're doing that before you leave it in the fridge. Hi Verity. I had another Verity comment on one of my videos and I thought it was you, and then I think I realised that it wasn't you. But yeah, I thought it was you because it was an older video and I was like, has she only just watched that one? But I don't think it was you. I just got confused because you're the only Verity that I knew watched my videos. This chocolate is taking so long to melt. Apologies. It's white chocolate, and white chocolate always takes longer. So, if anyone has any more questions, now is the time to ask, because I'm not doing anything. I'm getting a lot of messages on my cake Instagram, which I need to reply to. I don't know if they're from people on here or just other people in general, but I seem to have got quite a few messages since I started the live. So if anyone's messaged me, I'll answer it afterwards. How's the weather? It's dark outside, I know that much. Right, I think we're good. God, after all that, what do you call it? Faff, where we forgot to put the white chocolate in the buttercream. I need to put you back down here. There's so much stuff on this worktop today. Trying to fit you in. Almost like you need a PA. Honestly, I could do with it. I really could. If anyone wants to be my PA, sign yourselves up. My tea has gone cold. Getting twitchy about black buttercream for this weekend. It's been microwaved and in the fridge. I don't know if you saw the beginning of this live, Verity, but I've ran out of black colouring. So we're going to decorate as much as we can tonight, but I'm going to have to finish decorations in the morning because I don't have enough black for the drip, which we love. So that's great. But yeah, so I'm going to have to get up early to sort that out. In the fridge, about to re-whip it, just hope it doesn't stain. I already got black colouring on my jumper, literally like an hour ago. I need to put on an apron, but I usually don't wear an apron when I'm wearing the merch, which is really bad because then I'm going to stain all the merch, which is basically what's happened. Right. We're mixing all the milk, white chocolate in with the buttercream, and then we can put them back in the bags that they were in before. Right. That is all mixed. So, deja vu, doing this all over again. Do you watch the Great British Bake Off? I do most of the time. I think I missed it this year. Only because I was too busy. Is it on currently, or has it already been on this year? Someone let me know. But yeah, I was gonna catch up on it when I had some time, but I've completely forgot about that. I'm actually going to a show with another baker. When is it? I think it's the 3rd of October. Oh, it's not started. It starts in a week or so. Okay. I need to keep an eye out for that because I will forget. Starts on the 24th. Okay, thank you, guys. Yeah, people need to remind me about that because I will forget, but I will try and watch it and then maybe we can discuss it on the lives. Because then it gives us like a topic each week. Getting twitchy. I don't know if it's a British thing, but the way you guys describe things cracks me up. I was literally lolling at Verity's comment on the video about the prescription meds. Honestly, I'm from the UK and obviously so is Verity, but I still didn't realise when she was just going off about different meds. I was like, is she serious? Is she on diazepam? Like, you knew a lot about it, Verity. Too much, I think. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to the Cake and Bake show. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. I hadn't heard of it, but this baker that lives in my town, I know of her and I always admire her work, but I've never actually spoken to her. And she posted on her Instagram saying, is anyone up for going to the Cake and Bake show? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go, because then maybe we can become like cake friends, because I love that. And now we're going together, because I think we're very similar in age as well. So I might vlog it if she doesn't mind, because she follows me on Instagram, but I don't think she's on the YouTube scene, so she might not like it. But I'm going to try and vlog it, because I think they do like decorating tutorials where you can decorate cakes and stuff on the day. So I thought it'd be quite cool. But if anyone wants to go, it's in London and it's only £15. So if anyone wants to, I mean, you don't necessarily have to come with me, but I just mean if people are interested in going, then it's a good idea, because they sell like decorating supplies. They do loads of like classes throughout the weekend. There's different days. I'm going on the Sunday, but yeah, there's lots of different things going on, so it looks quite good. But yeah, if anyone is going, let me know, and then I can always come and say hi to people and meet people if they're there. Right, everything is bagged up finally. What time are we on? We've been an hour and not got very far. So, what's it called? It's called the Cake and Bake Show, and it's in London. It is the 1st of October to the 3rd. I'm going on the 3rd. Right. Let's try this again. We need the lightest colour. No, we need the darkest. Right. So, because it's ombre, start with the darkest. And you want it to be, I prefer ombre to be messy, because then it looks more blended. My mum keeps telling me about it, and I have a feeling she's going to surprise take me. Oh, that'll be really fun. Sorry, we've got low battery. I need to plug in my phone. Let me move this over. Yeah, I was saying that will be very exciting if she does plan to take you. I mean, if I'd known about it before this girl asked me if, or like I replied to her story, then I probably would have taken my mum. But obviously now I'm going with another cake person, so I thought that I will keep it cake related, but I think we're getting the train, so that means I can't buy too much. So I'll have to refrain from buying anything big. Or if I'm feeling nice, I might drive for both of us, because one, it saves getting on the train, which if it's not hard to get to, I prefer. And also it means that we can carry really big things, because I'm likely to spend a lot of money at a cake show buying stuff that I don't need. They look so similar in colour. I don't know whether to... I might add a tiny bit of white to the top, because those two colours look so similar. Actually, I'm just going to lighten some of this buttercream, because I want it to be a little bit more noticeable that they're two different colours. I need to pan you down, apologies. So you can see my very messy final coat. What do I need? Spatula. So I'm going to add a little bit of Wilton white, just to see if I can lighten this a little bit. That didn't make any difference. We're going to add a little bit of cream. It's made a slight difference, but I want it to still be much lighter than that. I think that's better. It's a little bit lighter. I just wanted it to be lighter than the shade before, rather than very similar. We're just going in with a spatula, because I've taken it out the piping bag now, so. Right, we're going to scrape it. I'm just taking the lightest colour and adding it back in at the top. Whereas the darker colours I can't add back on, I'll mix them all together. Have you done any of the wave cakes? They normally have a butterfly on them. I have not dared to try that, because it actually looks a lot harder. reconnecting, I think. Right, I think we're back on. I think that was my network going. So yeah, I haven't tried the wave cakes, but I really want to. I just think it's so much easier for me to do a scallop cake because it actually has a scraper. I'm not sure that I'm brave enough to actually do a wave one. That is, I'm just filling any gaps. Right, I think we're done with that. I don't think, actually, I can. So I can't do the drip on the base tier, but this cake has a chocolate drip. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to stack them and then we're gonna decorate the top, but we can't decorate the bottom because I don't have the black drip for the bottom. And then obviously I will get that in the morning and then I can make the black drip, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it today because I don't think I've got enough colouring. I do have a paint pen which I'm going to try making a little bit of black drip with and see whether it works first, because we might be able to use that. That one is also done. So I don't know if you can see, but these two are different colours at the top. The lighting isn't great, but yeah. So we've done that one. The black is pretty set, so we're going to be able to do the white. However, I've only got a little bit of white buttercream left because I used some of it, so we might have to make a little bit more buttercream. We're going to see. I'm going to maybe try and apply it and see how far we get with it. You don't usually need a lot when you're doing stripes. Just depends whether it's going to be too little. So we're going to add Wilton white to it. We need a clean spatula, so bear with. Right. I have a feeling that's not going to be enough, but we're going to put it in a piping bag and see. Do you store vegan ingredients separately from other ingredients? I did when I used to make vegan stuff. I don't anymore. But I used to have a separate shelf in the fridge for nut-friendly and vegan stuff, unless it's in a sealed container. So if it is like a sealed Marge container, then you can have it next to each other because it's completely sealed. But if it is like open bars of chocolate or anything like that, then I would store it just separately. So in terms of drawers, again, if it's sealed, then I just kept it in like an allergen drawer. So it sometimes was in with nut stuff, and that's what I told my inspector, and they seem to be happy with that. But obviously now I don't keep any stuff that I've got that's vegan is just in the drawer. I'm not actually using it. Why have you stopped offering vegan things, if you don't mind me asking? Just because it takes too much effort, and I know that sounds really blunt, but it's more effort for me to make one vegan cake when I'm already making other non-vegan ones. So say like tomorrow, I need to bake for Sunday, and I also need to bake for Monday on Saturday evening, and they are all what I would just call like normal cakes. But if I had a vegan one, I would have to bake it separately, and then I would have to then bake my cakes that are just the standard ones. You have to decorate it separately, and also it would always go wrong. I just seem to have the worst luck, and I would do a recipe 20 times, and most of the time it's perfectly fine, but there would always be something that went wrong, like it just wouldn't rise for no reason, even though it was the same recipe, or it just wouldn't, it just wouldn't work. Something always went wrong, so I was just, right, this is so stressful, nothing, just go and get it in the morning. But this would be like, you know, a cake doesn't rise and then I'm baking it at like midnight because it hasn't risen or has gone wrong, or it's like fallen over or something, because they're not as sturdy, the vegan ones. So again, that's why I don't do them, because I find that they're not as strong as normal. Yes, my cakes are vegetarian. The only thing that would make them not vegetarian is the colouring. So certain colourings have certain things, so like black and red, I think it's like beetle, it's something, I don't want to gross everyone out, but there's a specific colourings that have extracts from animals, things like gelatin as well in certain sweets, but mainly the colourings is the problem. I think most of them say that they're not suitable. Yeah, it depends what gelling agent it's got, because they are colouring gels, it means that they're like a jelly. So if they are gelatin, then you obviously can't have them. And I think there's like this Wilton white I can't have. So like for my niece's cake on Sunday, I won't actually be you're just making a joke. Yeah, there is actually a difference. But like my niece's cake on Sunday, because I'm eating it, I won't use any Wilton white. I will just beat the buttercream for ages so that it goes really white. But to avoid having to do that, I do use the Wilton. But yeah, because this has traces of fish, gelatin, mussels, nuts, pretty much everything, but there's a lot of stuff that I can't have in that. So if you are making any vegetarian cakes, don't use Wilton white, because I've had a couple of vegetarian cakes and I thought like, oh yeah, they'll be vegetarian, and then I went to use this and I was like, I can't use that, so it was a right pain. I'm gonna see, I don't think we've got enough of this, but I'm gonna pipe it on there and see whether we have enough. So I don't think we are, just judging by the bag size to the size of this cake. Actually, I may have spoken too soon. I'm going light with it because I always overdo the stripes and then I have to scrape for ages to get off the excess. Whereas a few times where I've gone really sparse on it, it fills the stripes a lot better. And then because we've got a bit of a lip at the top, I'm just going to do a little kind of like ridge at the top. Right, this is the tense part, the bit that I hate about striped cakes, because we're going to use another scraper because I'm already on my fourth one, so right. I actually have a video on that. Yeah, this is to... Oh, okay, yeah, so the covers, you go on to edit highlight, if you actually like click onto it and it shows your highlight, and then you press the three dots and you can edit the name, and when you edit the name of it, you can edit the photo. And a lot of people don't make the photos, they just get them off Pinterest. I've got mine off Pinterest, I think. So you type in Instagram highlights on Pinterest, and then it will come up with lots of little circle images, and then you can literally just crop and use the circle on your Instagram page. So yeah, just do that. Is there any better feeling than having the exact right amount of buttercream in your bag? Genius. Honestly, look at that. Look at that. We almost didn't have enough, but we made it, so that's good. But yeah, now is the tense part where it looks horrible, but then eventually it should end up looking good. This is the bit that I hate, because you can never tell how it's going to turn out until you finish scraping it all. This is why I always go light though on the buttercream, because otherwise I scare myself, because if you put loads on, then it ends up being covered. Or you had the exactly right amount. Yeah, I love that. Especially considering all of the other buttercream that I've got here is coloured. Some of it is brown and then some of it is blue. So it's like I could not have even used... I've got loads of spare, but it's in the wrong colour. So it's not even like I could have used a different one, because it's not right. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill any gaps with little leftovers. I'm going to nick it from the top because we don't actually need much for that. Ow, why did I do that? Oh, we're looking good. I need a teeny bit of white. There's a tiny little gap here, so I'm going to try and squeeze a teeny bit out of here. Okay, not looking too shabby. You don't have to worry too much about them being absolutely perfect, because you can cover them with things like drip, or I'm using gold leaf, so I'm going to cover any imperfections with gold leaf. And obviously pick the nicest side. Like this is probably the nicest side, so you pick that for the front, and then if there's any smudges you just put them to the back. But yeah, the nicest side happens to be where I've actually made the front. So just one last scrape. Check the back. I think there we go. Perfect. That was less scary than I imagined. I thought that that was going to go badly wrong. I always get so scared about stripes. Even though I've done them so many times and they always go right, I always get so worried, just because stripes is such a tedious thing. Like you have to just keep scraping over and over and hope that it actually goes right. And also, if you're darker colour, I always do the darker colour first, because I find that it's easier to scrape off a lighter colour than it is a darker one. If you do the darker colour second, then a lot of the time, say I was to put the black over the top, when I was scraping it and they were overlapping, usually the darker colour kind of like dominates, and it will just discolour your buttercream. So it means that the white would have started to turn a grey colour where I'm like scraping the black over and over. So you always want to use the lighter colour. But I left that in the fridge. We started at 9, so that's probably been in the fridge mostly like an hour, I'd say. So that wasn't very long. Usually I leave it in there a lot longer than that, but I didn't have the time. So we've flattened the top. As you can see, there's a little lip, but that will be covered by the drip, which is just where the scraper wasn't tall enough to do this size cake, or it was tall enough, but my cake was like in between a size. So because we can't do the drip, we're gonna have to stack it without the drip, which isn't the end of the world. So that is the front. As you can see, the stripes are pretty perfect, if I say so myself, which usually is rare. Usually they're a little bit more messy than that, but I just cover it up. But they went pretty good. So we are going to give that a minute just to set a bit more, because I don't want to pick up either of the cakes while they're still soft. And then we're going to stack them. And then what I'll do is I'll do the drip on the top and we can start decorating the top. And then I will finish it off in the morning. Like the base one, I can do around the base of the, what do you call it? On the board, like the decoration. I can do that, but I won't actually do the drip or any of the kind of like mid-tier details, because I need to put those on top of the drip. And like I said, we don't have any colouring, I don't think. I'm going to have a little go now, I think, and see whether I can make any black. So I'm going to unplug you, and then we're going to go to the microwave and melt some chocolate, and we're going to have a go at making a little bit of black. Right, so I want to go make a stripy cake right now, but we're in lockdown and then I'll have to eat it. Where are you based, Samantha? Right. Got you. Just getting all my stuff. Right. So, it is 11 o'clock. I am way too tired. Oh, you're in Australia. I remember someone saying they were in Australia, but I can't remember who. So, I heard that Australia's gone into a lockdown. Is it a long lockdown? Because ours was like months and months. Whereas every time I've looked at Australia, it hasn't been that long a lockdown. But I don't know if they've started increasing it now. But I've seen loads of people are getting vaccinated, so I think they're planning to open it up, hopefully. But you guys didn't have a lockdown when we had a lockdown, I don't think. We had a lockdown like basically the whole of last year. And I think Australia was still open, mostly. Right. I'm using chocolate spread, which is what I always use for drips. And we're going to see whether we can make some black. And if we can't, then it will go to waste, but that's fine. We're going to try. I've used this before, I'm pretty sure. It's a paint pen, but obviously it's just liquid that they use in it. So the liquid is like a really strong colouring. So I'm going to try and put it in this chocolate once it's melted. 12 weeks so far, oh gosh. Hopefully out of it by the end of October. Yeah, lockdown is not fun. Last year it was horrible. Luckily, like bakers and stuff, everyone was still working, so it didn't seem to actually change anything for me, apart from the fact that you had like no social life. But work-wise it didn't change anything. I don't know if it's like different for you guys, whether you can still work or not, but for us it didn't really change very much. You just had to take precautions when customers were like collecting from your house, stuff like that. Right, I've melted this chocolate spread for 25 seconds. I'm just doing it for another 20. I'm a teacher, so work is work, lol. That's so weird that you guys are both teachers and you're both from the same place as well. Right. We're going to try... we're going to try adding this colouring in. Fingers crossed it works, because that would just save me so much hassle tomorrow. It's not doing very much as of yet. It's not looking very black currently. Right. This is not going very black at all. I don't think this is going to go the way that I want it to. It's currently just a very dark brown. I'm going to get the leftover of the colouring and see. I've just opened both of these by cutting them open, and there's actually loads of colouring in here. But you just can't get it out by squeezing the bottle. So we may be in luck, let's see. Right, it is getting darker. It's also getting thicker at the same time because I'm adding so much colouring. Or so much of like the wrong type of colouring, because like this, I'm not even adding a lot of it, but because it's a paint pen, it is making it go thicker. So we're going to microwave it again because it is chocolate spread, so it should just keep microwaving until it's runny enough, basically. And then hopefully it will get darker at the same time. We will see. Because, yeah, that would save me having to go out in the morning. I'm pretty sure that said Crayola on the side. No. Craft pen. It's a rainbow dust craft paintbrush, but it has paint in it, and then you like twist it and it comes out. Oh no, I think we may have a problem. Yes. This is not going to work, unfortunately, as much as I would have liked it to work. I think, yeah, where I've added too much colouring, as you can see, it like barely moves. So we're going to write that one off. We're not going to do the black drip. I will probably maybe do it in the morning. If I have some royal icing, I might try that, since we have plenty of time. It's not like it's 11 o'clock. So I'm just going to check if we have any royal icing, which we probably don't. Can you add vegetable oil? You don't usually add vegetable oil to, what do you call it? You don't usually add it to chocolate spread, and same with hot water. Usually if you're using chocolate spread, that should be the only kind of like thing that you use, because otherwise it seizes. That's as far as I'm aware. Okay, so we are going to leave that, and we're going to tackle that in the morning, I think. So I'm going to get up super early and do that drip, basically. So we're going to stack the two cakes, and then I can do the drip afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. I've done hot water and white chocolate spread. I don't know if that's because it wasn't already seized. Like, this has already seized. That's why it's so thick. It wasn't that thick a second ago. So I don't know if that's how you maybe got away with it, if it wasn't already seized. Does that make sense? Unless yours was already this thick. But I'm just worried about the hot water separating from the chocolate. So yeah. I knew that something was going to go wrong. Something always goes wrong when I'm decorating late. So, but that's fine, because she's not coming till 11 AM tomorrow. So I've got, as long as I do everything else apart from the drip, it means that I am going to have, like, if I wake up at 7, I'm going to have like 3 hours to fix it, or like finish it. So I'll have plenty of time. Hobbycraft, places like that won't actually open until 9, I think. But I can be like waiting outside, ready, and then come home, do the drip straight away, and add all the bits that I need to add on, and then it'll be ready. So if you're not going to use the chocolate, you could give the hot water / oil a try. That is a fair point. Okay, we'll give it a try. How much am I meant to be adding? Because I don't normally add hot water to my chocolate. Excuse the kitchen, it is beyond messy from me. I've got stuff everywhere. Right, how much am I meant to add? Oh God, I hope it works. I mean, it doesn't matter if it doesn't, because it's going to go to waste anyway. So, yeah. If someone knows how much I'm meant to add, that would be helpful. Is it just like a teaspoon? Normally just do a splash. Okay. We'll boil the kettle. Fingers crossed. Right, we're boiling the kettle. I would go with oil. I find the oil, whenever I've used it in chocolate spread, it always separates. However, when I use oil and normal chocolate, it doesn't separate. A teaspoon. Okay, I'll go with a teaspoon once the kettle's boiled. And we will see. But it's very thick. It hasn't gone hard, but it's just very, very thick, which is not good. Because my drips are usually like really, really thin. So, yeah. Let's see. Science experiment. I hate like waiting for the kettle. I really want to know if it's going to work already. Oh my god, I'm actually so scared. Bless you guys, you're so worried. Like, it's fine. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to blame all of you and then go to bed. I'm joking. No. If it doesn't work, I will just sort out the drip tomorrow because I can still stack. Yeah, I can still stack the cake if I can't do the drip. That's a good idea. Split. I'm going to do another little bowl with oil and see which one works. Let's see. Right, I need to remember which one's which now, so that I know which one works and which one doesn't. So, we're going to add a teeny bit of oil to you. I find that oil, that's why I stopped using it in my drips, because I found that the consistency was fine, but at the end of the drip, like the actual drip down your cake, it was a massive lump where the oil was like congealing. So then I would just scrape it off and do it again. Yeah, the oil seems to still be quite thick. I've never tried the water, so we're gonna try it, see whether it works. Oh no. It didn't work. It's shockingly bad. I'm actually like on the verge of tears because it looks so bad. So that's what seizing is. So it's like seized. I don't know if you usually continue adding water to that. I only added a teeny bit. Add more water. Okay. I'm worried now. Have I done it wrong? It's like a paste. Yeah, keep going. It's like a paste. Is that right? How much water would you normally add? And also, are you normally adding water to normal chocolate? Because this is obviously chocolate spread. I don't think it's meant to do this, guys. Can you see that? I don't think I did it right, or it's just gone wrong. I think I added way too much colouring, which I know I did, and because it's water-based, that's why it makes it thicker, which is why I needed my colour mill, but it's not arriving till tomorrow. But I was hoping that it might work. That is shocking. No, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching it. I'm not eating it. It looks horrible. Look. It's not nice at all. With my chocolate, I just keep going, but I feel like a spread was major luck. Yeah, I think the spread already has some kind of like agent in it to keep it soft. So when you add the water or even the oil, it just keep Adding stirring. I think we're too far gone, Kat. Like, I think we are way too far gone. I think that is just, it's gone, I think. I tried adding a bit more and it just gets more paste-like. So I think I'm gonna end, like, that is definitely not gonna drip down my cake, I don't think. It's shocking. It's like a little ball. Like, it's literally like a ball of chocolate. It is just going hard, basically. That is not going to drip. Yeah, it looks grim. Thank you. I thought it looked grim as well. Glad you all confirmed it for me, because it looks terrible. And then the oil, I only added a teeny bit, but I don't think, I've just added a little bit more just to see. The oil does make it runnier, but that is still not runny enough. Like, it needs to be dripping real quick, and I know that as soon as I put that on the cake, it is not going to drip. So, like I said, we're going to leave that drip until the morning. What I'm going to do with that, which I usually do with black drips, because it's just so much easier, is I'm going to use, what do you call it? The icing that is a liquid. Someone help me out here. I'm going to use royal icing tomorrow, because it will take me 2 seconds. Royal icing is going to be really nice, and it's just going to drip perfectly. So yeah, I'm going to use that, but I'll do that in the morning. So I'll go to Tesco's first, because I can buy the royal icing early, and then I'm going to go to Hobbycraft and get the colouring if nowhere else is open. If somewhere like the Range is open, or B&M, they sell Colour Splash, so then I can get it from there. But if they aren't open, then I'll wait for Hobbycraft to open and then get it from there. So that's the plan for that. But we're gonna stack them, and then we can do the drip on the top tier, because that's brown, and we can do the decorations on that, and then we'll leave the rest until the morning, which is fine. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So if the live hasn't been long enough already, with just things going wrong today, then we're gonna carry on going. So we need to stack, so I'll move you further back, and then I will pan you down in a minute. I need a skewer, so I'm gonna run and get that. The dowels are already in the cake. I also need a little board from somewhere. I'm sure that I had one there. Proud of you for trying. You've added a bit of spice to my life for a few minutes. That is the funniest term. That's like Spice Girls, isn't it? Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed watching me suffer. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this big board to a little one, so that it can go in between. I'm sure, like, I am 90%, 99%, maybe a bit more certain, that I have an order that was meant to arrive today from Amazon, and it's lots of those tiny little boards like this, which go in between your cake, like in between your two tiers. But I don't know where they are, because they're not here. So I don't know if they're not arriving today, but I ordered them a couple of days ago. So I'm pretty sure that they should have already come. And they obviously haven't, because I'm having to cut a big board into a little board. But that is just That's what we do here. DIY. Always. I need some better scissors, I know that much. And that is the worst circle that I've ever done. The suspense was real, trust me. I was hopeful that it was going to work, but I'd never tried it before. And literally every single time, I never learn, every single time that I do a black drip, like I'm not worried because I've done it so many times, and every single time that I try it goes wrong. So I'm not worried because I know that I'll just use royal icing and it will go perfectly fine and I won't have to worry. But I still, every single time, try to make a black drip with no colour mill and chocolate spread, and every single time it goes wrong because I prefer a chocolate spread drip opposed to a royal icing. But you could cut that on your Cricut. That is a very good point, but one, I don't know how to change the blades because it's my mum's Cricut, it's not mine, and she set it up to cut card toppers, like cake toppers made out of card. So it's got that blade on it, so I don't know whether this would be too thick to go through it, so she might have to change the blade, and I have no idea what I'm doing with it. I literally know how to make a cake topper and that is it. I don't know how to do anything else on the Cricut, so that's why I thought I'd just do it by hand. I think my dog has been outside. Oh no. My dog's just come in here. And I was thinking that she had been out there because she hasn't been in the kitchen while I've been decorating, and we've been decorating for 2 hours. I was like, has she been outside for 2 hours? But my dad's opened the back door, like round the other side, to let all the dogs out to go to the toilet. And she's obviously come in this way rather than like going in the same way she came out. Right, you need to leave. So I've cut that. I'm just going to kick clear out, and then we will stack the two cakes. Okay. Right, dog is kicked out. Now we can stack. So you need your board, and you need to make a hole in the middle. Does not have to be perfect because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't matter too much. You obviously want it as close to the middle as you can get it. So just like mark it out with something. I've used scissors, but the scissors won't go through this. And then I have to like, it's so, there we go. Right, I'm using a skewer. It's a metal one, so it's a bit more like better for going through stuff. So, and then I'm just gonna cut any like excess, and then you just need to spin it around on the skewer basically to make sure that the hole isn't going to be too small for the skewer to go through, because we're using a, what do you call it, wooden skewer. Right, so pierced. Amy's piercing parlour, trust me. I'm not good with piercing things. I would be terrible at that. I can't get the straw in a Capri Sun. It takes a lot of effort, and this takes a lot of effort. Usually I use something a bit sharper, but I don't want to cut myself, so I used to use a knife, but then I'd cut myself, so now I just use a blunt skewer, which is a lot harder. So I'm going to go get a wooden skewer for the base tier, and then we're going to stack them together. Oh my god, is that your mum? Can she make a cameo? I died at the video of you two doing Bake Off. It was the cutest. Bear with, she's just making herself look presentable. Right, go ahead. Everyone wants to see Jules. More than me.
Hi guys. What are you doing?
I'm getting a cake out.
Oh, right, okay. I can't read the things, I haven't got my glasses. So.
Mumsy on stream. Freddie said hi.
Hi, Freddie.
Woohoo. Hi, Mama. Mama Amy. Right, that fits there.
That's nice.
This is the poker tier.
Ah, right.
And then we've got, just doing that roughly in the middle. Not measuring it at all.
Oh, it is not.
That's fine.
Oh, right, okay.
It's fine. I want to shout out. You have to shout out Grandma Max.
Oh, I know who that is. Hi, Grandma.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
his
hi,
username.
Grandma Max. Yeah.
Celine's Cake Boutique. She's so cute.
Thank you, Celine.
Love your vlogs. Love your vlogs, Jules. Freddie said he loves your vlogs. Do you watch her craft vlogs? You got a fan.
Oh. No, he probably doesn't.
Well, how would he know that you've got vlogs
Oh.
if he doesn't watch them?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Freddie. Oh, that's a nice colour going on top.
I know that's going on there.
Is that tea cold?
Yeah.
Is that the one I made about 4 hours ago?
Yeah, can you, it would be great if you could make another.
Please.
Yeah, the rabbits are so cute. We don't have rabbits. Oh, and the ballet wraps. Oh my god, you're gonna get us started now. The lunar lampin. We were thinking that we don't have any rabbits.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, thank you, yes. Who's that, Freddie?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Freddie.
Someone watches your videos, clearly.
Someone watches, yeah.
I do when I have time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we don't have enough black for the drip. I ran out of black.
Oh.
So I've got to go to Hobbycraft at like 9 AM as soon as it opens. Because my colour mill arrives tomorrow.
Ah, and you don't know what time it's coming.
Oh no, it definitely won't come before 11 AM. I'm just trying to, you can't actually see, but I'm trying to get the board off of here.
Stuck on there.
Yeah, I mean it's meant to be stuck, but there we go. And then you put this on.
Want me to hold it?
No, it's fine.
Don't trust me, do you?
Put it as centered as you can get it. Obviously we'll cover the edge that's there, and then I need to pick which side is the front. We're gonna go with that, and then can you hold the board? It's spinning. Don't move it. No, don't move it.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Perfect.
What
What happened to your cup? Oh, it's over there.
You moved it. Does Jules have vlogs? She does. She has craft vlogs for the avid crafters out there. I need a spatula. So we're going to do the drip on the top tier because we can, and then got a bit of the board. Right, so literally don't do any crafts but they're just so heartwarming. That's what Freddie said. He's not a crafter at all. So this is what it's looking like currently. That's the front. They're both going to have a drip. This one's poker themed. This one is rugby themed. Very different, but they're for obviously the same person, so she wanted 2 different themes. I'm going to put this back in the fridge because the daddy long legses are out. So I'm going to put this back in the fridge just while we melt the chocolate, and then I will get it back out. Right. The dogs are back in, so I'm gonna just get them out again and then I'll be back. Right, we are, how much battery do we have? So we have 26% on there, so we're fine. We're running out a little bit on the iPad. I gotta go, but I will catch up with the rest tomorrow. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Yeah, to be fair, there's not gonna be too much more. It's mainly just the top tier that we're gonna be doing now. So we're gonna melt some more. Where have I put my chocolate spread? I've put it somewhere.
Isn't this it?
No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Nope. It's none of the above. Oh, it's over here.
I'll leave your tea here.
Okay, thank you. Right, we are going to melt a little more chocolate spread because we know what happened to the last 2. So
Good night.
night. Yeah, I'm gonna melt this. I'm gonna melt it in the jar because I'm not colouring it. So we're just gonna do 20 seconds and then probably another 15 after that. Nearly done. Another spoon. Right, that is, I love like how just normal chocolate spread turns out. It always turns out really nice and runny. So we're not going to have any issues there. Right. 15 seconds, and then I like it to be a bit overly runny because then when it sets on the cake, because the cake's going to be cold, then it will be nice and like a good consistency to go down the cake. Perfect. So we're just going to use it out the jar because I'm not going to be like double dipping spoons, so that's fine as long as you're not using, like, you can leave your spoon in there but just don't touch the cake with your spoon. So I'm going to use a spatula, and then it means that I can use the same spoon that is in here and just leave it in there, and then actually use a spatula to move it around on the cake. So right, so what am I doing now? I just realised I didn't add any buttercream in between the layers where I did the board and the top tier. So what I'm going to do, I think, is try and add a little bit, see if I can. So what do I need? don't think I'm going to be able to do it whilst it's in the fridge. I'm getting a lot of messages on my baking Instagram since being on this live. Can we lift that at all? Okay, so it's like open heart surgery this. I need another spatula, which I don't have. Right, bear with. What I'm going to do is smudge a teeny bit of buttercream under here, which just sticks it down. Less than that. So just go round and smudge, because it will be covered by the rim that I'm doing around here with the decoration, so it will be covered anyway, which is fine. There we go. So we want to use this one, and you're just going to push it. Right. So, like I said, all these sides will be covered, so I'm just going to smooth any grey buttercream, and then that will be covered by the black drip, and this one is going on the top. So I'm just going to double check the photos that I've got. Bear with. Okay. So, brown drip. Yeah, we're good. Right, that should be enough. Perfect. So the drip on the top is done, which is good. So all we're doing to this is we need to make some green buttercream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lightest shade of blue, and we're just going to add forest green to it because it will make that colour. And then we don't have any waste, so yeah, using the lightest shade. There's two shades which are pretty light, so we're going to go for both of them. And we need it to look like grass, so I've got some nozzles. Don't know where they are. I literally reorganised the kitchen the other day, and I still don't know where they are. Okay. Found them. So I think we're going to go with the thickest. It's just one off Amazon, so it isn't like a brand, it's just number 234. Don't know if that means anything to anyone. The ticking clock, it's so much louder on the live. Is it? Doesn't sound that loud in person, but maybe I need to get rid of it. Not that I ever check it. It's right in front of me, but there's like 1,000 clocks in this house, so I'm looking at the one that's over there, not the one that's right in front of me. Right, we're just making a dark green. Turns out we need a lot of colouring to do this, so I'm hoping that's enough. Right, we're going to go with that because it will get darker in the fridge once it's actually on there, because colouring always darkens in the fridge. So yeah, we're going to go with that. Right, there you go. 99 days until Christmas. Freddie, are you gonna do you want to do hourly updates? Right. This daddy long legs. Oh no. There we go. Low power mode again. This daddy long legs is testing me. So, I'm gonna plug you in again. So, there's the grass on the top. We are gonna have a rugby like goal. I don't know what the official word is for it, but we're gonna have that on the front. But we have got a little man to go on there. Need to make sure I don't drop him. So this was not made by me. This was made by someone on Etsy. So they matched the football kit to the guy's kit, and then they also put his number on there, and they made his hair colour the same. But yeah, that's the little face, which is super cute. So yeah, she's amazing. I think it was like 25 pounds or something. But obviously it's amazing, so it's worth it. But yeah, they are quite pricey. So obviously if you consider doing fondant figures yourself, definitely charge for it. I don't make them myself because they are so difficult. But yeah, so that's going on top of the grass. So I'm just working out where the front is. And it's just got some corn flour on it, which just keeps it like from sticking. So I'm just brushing that off. So he fits perfectly. I actually had to get her, again, I'll get her card in a minute, but the reason I was so happy with it is because she did that custom. So like she usually does it a set size, and I asked her if she could make it smaller because this cake is a 4-inch and he was normally 6 inches long. So I was like, he's not gonna fit on the cake. So she made him 5 inches, which by the time you got all the buttercream on and everything like that, it's practically that size. So yes, that is very good. So it fits on there perfectly. And yeah, he's just sticking onto the buttercream. It doesn't say that you can put it in the fridge, but I'm pretty sure the last time I had a fondant figure, I put it in the fridge. I just, boxed it up so that the condensation didn't go on it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do because it needs to go in the fridge. I can't leave it out, so. Right, so we're going to put it back in the fridge. And what I'll do is box it up overnight, even though I'm not doing any more decoration, and then it means that it won't get all the condensation and everything. It's very wobbly. So that is pretty much, I think that's actually gonna be it. Because anything else that I'm gonna do will be quicker, bearing in mind it's midnight, if I do it myself. I just need to tidy up this space because it's an absolute tip, make it workable because I'm gonna have to work in it tomorrow morning when I finish the drip off on that. So I need to clear it so that I can come in and finish that. And I also have to bake tomorrow. And I also just need to make a few little fondant bits. I'll show you. This is what's going on the base tier. So we got a whole game because it was the cheapest thing. It was more expensive to buy chips separately than it was to buy this little kit, and it's a 200-piece kit. So I said to her, I was like, I'm just going to give you the kit and then you can just you might play the game afterwards. So I'm going to be using the chips in here and also the cards, because she specifically wanted chips that had numbers on. So yeah, I'm going to be using chips and then also some poker cards, and I'm going to make some dice. So that's all I've got to do now is make the dice, and I also need to make the goal for the rugby tier. So I just need to make a little white goal, which won't be very difficult. So yes, that is what I need to do now. So that will probably take me like half an hour, and then yeah. So I won't bore you with sitting through all those little bits because they're really tedious. But at least you've seen the main part of the cake. But tomorrow's live, I will promise, not tomorrow's live, Saturday's live, I promise I'll be a lot more prepared, because the cakes are going to be crumb coated the day before, they're going to be crumb coated tomorrow, so then they'll be ready for the live. So I'm going to do one of them as a video because people have requested it so many times. So I'm going to do a from baking to decorating. So you'll see stacking, crumb coat, all of that on this cake. It's a 1-tier cake, and then you'll get to see the live of the 2-tier. It's another recreation of my birthday cake, by the way, if anyone's curious. So I'm just getting that woman's details. So the fondant figure, it is the Model Cake Company, and that's what the logo looks like, if anyone's wondering. There's her mobile number. I probably shouldn't show you that because I don't think it says it on her page. But yeah, on Etsy, she's called the Model Cake Company, but she is amazing, like so good. I literally said to her, the t-shirt on the rugby player, standard doesn't come with stripes, but I said to her, are you able to do stripes? And she said, I'll copy it exactly. So she's really, really good. Didn't add any more to the price. So yeah, she is very, very good. Definitely would recommend. I will be leaving her a review, but on Etsy it makes you wait like a week. So I've got to wait and then I can leave one. And also, again, in case anyone's curious, because I know people will be wanting to watch the live on Saturday, this is what arrived. So I got a parcel today, which is, so because it's recreating my birthday cake, it's for my niece. Her birthday is on Sunday. But they wanted my birthday cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to do my birthday cake, but we're going to do it in pink. So rather than pink, orange and yellow, we're just going to do different shades of pink. So we got this set. They said just buy whatever set. So I got this one, and then I got another one, and we're going to put them together, basically. So this gold one is the same as my birthday cake. So they wanted the gold, what do you call it, spear. And then this malts, this fluffy stuff, so you can't use that on the cake. But we thought that we can use a mixture of the little bits from each. So those arrived. They were, one was £8, one was £9, but she is amazing. Like the woman that did it is really good. And again, I said to her, like, I only got told about this on Monday. So I literally ordered them on Monday, and they arrived, I think, yesterday, and they posted them on Tuesday. So they arrived within 2 days, which is really good. And then the other lady made this little nameplate, which says Amelie, which is my niece's name. And that came in 2 days as well. And obviously she had to make that as well. So those are the two people that I used for my birthday cake. I also used them for the cake last week, which was another recreation of my birthday cake, and then I'm using them again. So I've used them like 3 times now, and they're really good each time. So, but this one, the flowers are Mamie Peaches. She's actually opening a shop, I think, I saw. So that's the flowers, and then Love Laura Laser Designs is the acrylic poppers. And the acrylic nameplate is, I can't remember, I think it's around £8. So again, it's not too bad, and obviously it's custom, so you're paying for it to be custom. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you where everything was from before I ended. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Does anyone want to see the cake quickly, or is everyone happy with what they saw? Because the bottom tier isn't decorated. The top tier has the little man on it now, and the grass, and then it will have the gold on the top of it as well. and that'll be it. I don't think they ordered a birthday topper, so that won't be on there. I'm going to double check, but I don't think they ordered a birthday topper. So yes. Right, I'm going to go because I'm really tired, and I'm going to quickly finish off these fondant bits, and then I have to get up super early. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Max. So yeah, right. I will see you later. If you haven't already, because once again, I can see how many people have liked the live, and it says 10, and there's 19 of you in here. So make sure that you like it before you leave, because it's free. That's all you have to do. Toodles, hope you can get the black food colouring. I hope so too. I will be able to, because if they don't have it in Colour Splash, then they'll have it in Pro Gel or Wilton or one of the others, and Hobbycraft sells about 5 different brands, so they'll definitely have it in one of them. I just don't know which one. I'm not too fussed, as long as one of them has it. So yeah, right, I will see you later. Thank you for watching.